Welcome back to the Mancave podcast, you pieces of shit. This is going to be a real fucking treat for you. Man. That started out well.
Larry's clearly in a good place.
Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Hope you guys have been enjoying your cock.
Well, it's Pride Month, so.
Yeah, according to our Egyptian episode, it's a sweet treat, pastry, cream filled.
You know that you're upset when you reference that one again.
Fuck him. But yeah, today we're talking about Father's Day versus Mother's Day, right? And all the joyous things that you men as fathers enjoy on Father's Day.
Well, we don't do anything, right? That's the consensus if you ask any woman, because it's, that's their reality. I've told you that, bro, the idea that women get to go on TikTok and be like, oh, my life as a stay-at-home mom is so hard.
Yeah.
I have to clean the house. I have to wash the dishes. I have to make dinner, right?
Yeah.
I have to be a good mom. I have to be a good wife. You get to do that.
Yeah.
And you get to do that for the people that you should love unconditionally.
Unconditionally.
Right? And that's visual stuff. So the husband comes home and he sees all this stuff, right? Yeah. She sees the work that's done, right? I think the problem with Father's Day and the reason it doesn't get the respect that it deserves is because all the work that we do isn't seen by them, right? We do all the work outside of the house. We have to go outside of the house and deal with bullshit, deal with people that we don't want to fucking deal with, right? Constantly put on, better ourselves at work so we can get the new promotion and get some more pay so that we can provide stuff at home. But all that work is not seen by them. And
even in the house, we're not announcing, hey,
I'm going to wash the dishes. Right? It's just like, and even though the women they don't announce it to us until it's an argument. Then they're like, that yesterday I had to do this, and that. I'm like, yeah, well, yesterday I did a 12-hour shift.
So it makes sense that you kind of had to do extra shit.
I'm sorry you were at home for 12 hours by yourself. It's like, and that sounds like we're coming from a petty place, and it's probably because it is. It's also 8 a.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So I had to, get a BBC to get this day started.
A BBC?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Big black coffee.
Wow. That's probably the wildest shit that I've ever heard somebody call a coffee.
Really? I think there might be crazier, but BBC's pretty up there, actually. And I'm not going to take all that joke. It's me and Glenn's joke.
It's your joke, because you said it on the internet. So
okay, facts.
If Glenn mentions it after this, it's like, oh, he stole that from George.
There you go. I just got to beat everybody to the punch.
Exactly. I guess we can clip this part right here. She is the hardest working human being on the planet. The hardest working human being.
I've been in this building a few times. I've been in here even when other people are working. And no one moves around the way that she moves.
No, at all. So God bless you. And I'm sorry that I missed the trash can with the paper. I'm sorry about that. Man. Do you like look forward to Father's Day?
Because it's never anything to the level of Mother's Day at all. Like, I did a poll on my Instagram, and I asked, is Father's Day as important as Mother's Day? Right? I just wanted to see the responses.
Yeah.
One woman said yes, right? And another woman said no. And then it was just a lot of silence from women and a lot of guys commenting. So I'm going to take the silence from the women, because there were a lot of them that saw it and didn't respond, as a no. If you think otherwise, you should have fucking responded.
Yeah.
So that's, 1 out of 100 women. Here's a stat for you. 1 out of 100 women think that Father's Day is as important as Mother's Day. So 99 out of 100 think not.
Yeah. You remember when we were talking about just making up stats? That's literally what's happening.
That's right. What's happening. I mean, you can't say I didn't do a poll because I did do a poll. And a lot of people saw it and didn't respond. So your silence says more than what your words would have.
Yeah.
You could have avoided this.
Listen, professional trained psychologists do exactly what you did. They take polls. They try to see what the data looks like, you know, unbiased. You not so much.
I'm pretty unbiased.
You're pretty biased about your stance on this.
I respect the woman that said no, though. Like, shout out to you. I didn't go into a conversation as to why, because that would have taken too long, and I'm not going to go through all these messages back and forth. I just was like, oh, shout out to you actually being like, no, it's not.
Right.
Because that's the reality. It's not. When I did the research, Mother's Day ranked 3rd in the most celebrated holiday around the world after Christmas and Easter. And Father's Day was ranked 7th.
You know, actually, I'm surprised that it was that high.
Yeah, same.
But
you know what was above it?
What?
Valentine's Day.
Of course.
Because that's another women's holiday.
For women. Yeah.
Because that's another day that women get gifts because of all the hard work that they do.
Yeah. I'm not even going to hold you. I got great gifts on Valentine's Day. And even still, it felt like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we all know this holiday isn't for me. Yeah, you got gifts for me, but this isn't for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's like for Mother's Day. There's always a big deal for Mother's Day every year. You always see a bunch of men running out, right? Buying gifts.
At the last minute.
It's because we're too busy working. But they go out, buy their gifts, the jewelry, the flowers, whatever else it may be. And it's like, if you don't do that, then you don't appreciate anything that your wife does, and you're a bad husband, right?
I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you over the sound of you potentially clipping me drinking that fucking coffee again.
I actually didn't notice, so I'm going to have to keep an eye out maybe if
I
you
shouldn't
picture.
have said nothing. Fuck.
But Father's Day, I don't feel anything for. Like, this is my 3rd year. No, I get, going into my 3rd year as being, a dad for Father's Day. I don't know if I've ever gotten anything. I think I've worked most Father's Day the last 3 years.
You worked on Mother's Day too.
I did work on Mother's Day, because I'm always fucking working. And it's like, there's nothing memorable for me for Father's Day. And a lot of guys will say the same. It's just like, oh, cool. I probably get a text message or a card or maybe some socks, a new tie. Right? Yeah. It's like nothing special. While the women get the jewelry and all this.
What is it with this fucking tie thing? Like, this video I'll show you in a little bit is this dad's basically like, oh, thanks for the cool tie. It's so cool. Like,
I can fucking hang myself with
it. Like, what is it with the tie thing?
Dude, it's because there's...
Are people even wearing ties anymore?
I think there's a certain thing that people they don't know men, right? Like, I think guys kind of stick to themselves so much, even within our own relationships, that if you ask your wife or whatever, it's like, oh, what does he like? They're probably like, I don't fucking know, right? So there's probably like a top 5 things that they think all guys would like. It's like tie, socks, maybe a video game. I don't even know what console he has, right? Yeah. It's like that they just put all of guys into a box of, he's going to like this or not. I'll get him a fucking toolbox. I've never fucking fixed a thing in my life, But he's a guy, so he has to like that shit. But a woman ask a husband, oh, what do I like or what am I like? And they not know the answer, it's going to be a problem. Like, if, let's say, this is like a thing. If you guys went out to a restaurant and your girl goes up to go to the bathroom and says, just order me a drink, right? Are you confident that you would be able to order a drink that she would like?
There's only one that I feel like I could go and get, but her drink of choice is subject to change at any given time.
Okay, because like if you were to get up and walk away,
easily, easily,
because there's boxes of things. Right? It's like, oh, he'll probably drink some whiskey.
And I'm a functioning alcoholic, so she could order anything. I don't want to come back and it'll be gone.
Come back, there's water on the table. That's when you're like, what the fuck is this?
Did you not give me a drink? That's my question. Like, why do you have a drink and I don't have a drink?
But like favorite foods, something like that. You probably have an idea of what she likes. Well,
if it's consumable, she's a.
What the fuck is an inconsumable food?
If it's consumable,
but what is a non-consumable food?
Old milk. It's not. You're not gonna consume that.
You can chew it up.
No, you'll be fucking sick in the hospital.
But yeah, I think guys just stick to themselves so much that, maybe, and we try to figure ourselves out for so long.
Yeah.
That because we're never really happy with who we are as a person, that we change so much about ourselves so regularly, that, they probably just be like, get this motherfucker a tie.
Bro, when I tell you, like, I was just thinking about this the other day. I'm like, I make great money. I think I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I have to work like a goddamn slave to make ends meet. I can't imagine what regular people who are making like less than $20 an hour are going through. I can't imagine it, because the cost of shit and the expectations for men to show up and provide in relationships has changed so quickly and so much over the last, let's say, 5 years. And bro, I think Instagram has made this shit way worse, where it's like now if a woman posts about the things she got on Mother's Day, oh, that's the fucking standard. Like, oh, I didn't get roses on the bed, and fucking the guy with the violin from the Titanic isn't playing over our dinner. Like, oh, you're a piece of shit. Yeah. Like, most men cannot show up the way that these women are expecting them to. Mm-hmm. And let me not say cannot. They're just not in a position to at this point in time.
And if you listen to a lot of the like consensus, right, is like guys don't even like dating because of how expensive it is. Like, people joke around about, oh, these girls just like to go out on dates to get free food, right?
But they do.
And that's a reality.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, because I was thinking the other day when you said that, that in most relationships, there's our money and then there's her money, right? Like, my money is our money. Right? Her money is her money. Deadass. And it's not ours.
Because how fucking dare you ask her for money? Yeah.
She on a regular basis knows how much money I have. Yeah. I have no fucking idea how much money she has. I don't ask her. I don't check. You know what I mean? But she knows how much money I have.
She also doesn't know how much money I have.
Well, it's probably too much to count, Larry.
Oh, shit, I wish.
But that's the reality for a lot of things. Is like that the man's money is the family's money. Yeah. And her money is her money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And to think about that being the reality, and then Father's Day showing up and it not being appreciated to the level that it is crazy. Like, the women, I think, choose to not acknowledge the amount of hard work that men do on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a father of two. I come home from a long day work dealing with fucking bullshit, right? Like, just last night. And then, like, I worked all day by myself. I had people call out. We were busy as shit. I was just, running around. And on my drive home, I'm just feeling exhausted, right? Mentally drained, physically drained.
Yeah.
And I consider myself to be kind of mental, like, sometimes when I'm by myself, like a lot of people, my brain goes to a dark place, right? And I just wasn't feeling it. I got home and I was just in a bad place mentally.
You were driving, you saw somebody walking across the street, and you was like, I should just hit this motherfucker.
It's just I wasn't doing okay. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I come home and I don't let the kids see that. I try my hardest to not let my wife see that. Help give Eli a bath, get him dressed, get him ready for bed, play with him a little bit. You know what I mean? And trying to get myself out of that funk. And a lot of guys deal with that shit.
Yeah.
Like, you come home and you're just like, don't want to fucking do with nothing. But you can't let your kids see that. You don't want your wife to see that, because then you don't want them to feel like what's the word I'm looking for? Like you're cracked, you know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, his shell is broken or something.
Yeah.
And we have to put on that kind of
vulnerable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Women say that they want men to be vulnerable.
No,
I don't think they do.
No, they don't.
I don't think they do.
No, they don't. Because then they have to worry, and they don't want to have to worry.
Yeah. But that's a lot of the shit that men deal with. Fathers deal with that shit. And Father's Day comes around and it's just another fucking Sunday. And that's a disappointing thing as a dad who tries his fucking hardest to provide and tries his fucking hardest to build a relationship with my kids and, you know, worry about the people that they're going to grow up to be and shit like that. Like,
so what would you change? Like, what would you make differently about Father's Day?
I just want it to be at least bare minimum on the same level as Mother's Day for moms to give a shit.
Yeah.
And watch people be like, oh, my family celebrate my husband all the time. Or on Father's Day is a very important day for us. Because everybody likes to save face. But I don't think that's the reality. Because if it was, why did all you women stay silent when I asked that question on Instagram? Because you were like, oh, no. But you don't want to say no.
And why is it not top 3 in terms of holidays?
Exactly.
You know who actually, when I think about it, you know who Father's Day is important to? Sons who've had great fathers. Mm-hmm. They will go out of their way to be like, Dad, I love you. Like, I got you this expensive ass golf club set or whatever the fuck it is, because they know the impact that a great dad has on your life.
That's valid. Yeah.
Nobody else gives a fuck. My fucking little sister, she's 5 now, so take this with a grain of salt. But like, she told her dad the other day he didn't buy her enough stuff for her birthday. And I was fucking shocked because you were there for the birthday. You saw all the gifts on the table. That was not even, and that wasn't even including the shit that she'd already gotten. She gotten a bunch of shit. First of all, they have this thing at Target where they fill up a cart. Like literally, they take a cart at Target and they fill it to the fucking brim.
Wow.
And go check out whatever it is that you want that can fit in this fucking cart. Go get it. So they did that. They went to New York to the American Girl, just a doll. Like they went to the store. He bought her a bunch of shit, and then he fucking had a whole private birthday party at Sky Zone.
Yeah.
Like.
Rented out the fucking place.
We watched other children cry because they couldn't get into this fucking place.
Yeah.
Because it was shut down.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, Dad, you didn't buy me enough stuff. And I told my mom straight up, first of all, I'm not a proponent for beating your kids. I used to think that you should, but I don't agree with that anymore. But I told my mom straight up, I was like, yo, you should have beat her ass because she has no idea the kind of life that she can live because he goes to fucking work every day.
Yeah.
Like, what fucking kid on this planet can say, oh, I for my birthday, I just rented out Sky Zone. Are you fucking kidding me?
I wish it was more. You know what I mean? It sounds like those videos that you would see that I've seen on TikTok or something like that, where like a dad buys a 16 or 17-year-old like a car.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like a Honda Civic. And they're like, but I wanted a BMW. It's like, dog, what the fuck?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. And it's constant. And, I don't want to blame women, but that has to come from the mom. Because I'm telling you, the dad's not in the house working his ass off, paying for everything and being like, I'm not doing enough. No, that kind of energy is coming from the mother who's saying that he's not doing enough, or everything that he does is not good enough. Right. So then the kid is like, oh, okay, he can do more then.
Even if it's not that, it's not reinforcing the shit that he is doing. Like, yo, do you see what your dad did? You see what your dad got for you? Like, isn't he a great dad? Like, even if you're not pointing the things out that he's not doing, by not acknowledging the shit that he is doing, it's just as bad.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks, bro.
Yeah. I don't know. And it's weird because it's to think about, like, I've had, I wouldn't say a good father figure or good like male figures in general. But I always acknowledged my dad trying Like he always worked his ass off, right? And my uncle did the same thing. Like he kind of put that work ethic into my cousins. And it's like when it comes to celebrating them, it doesn't really happen. Like it really doesn't. I think because it's just so easy to fall into viewing like faults in people, right? That it's just like you're ignoring the good things that they did.
Yeah.
Like the faults overshadow some of the shit. Like, yeah, he didn't come home and he didn't wash the dishes, but he came home and he walked the dog and he, cut the grass and then he played with the kids. It's like after working all day.
Yeah.
There's a level of respect that has to come from that. And it's like, oh, but he didn't do this.
Right.
Oh, but ... You're insane. Like there's no way that, and it's like I said, men don't fall into the same thought process. Men are never calling their wife out on shit that they didn't do. Sometimes maybe, but it doesn't happen often.
Right.
And that's why Mother's Day is so respected, because men know the hard work that their mothers are doing.
Yeah.
But that script doesn't get flipped.
Even if they don't know, they know they better not come the fuck home with nothing. Whereas on Father's Day, if you come home with nothing, who the fuck is checking? Like,
yeah, I don't expect anything.
It's like, oh, regular Father's Day.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Go to work tomorrow.
Yeah. Like, Jesus, I would like to get a 5 minutes to myself here.
Yeah.
I gotta get up at fucking 6 o'clock in the morning, but the kids are bouncing off your back like a fucking jungle gym. Like,
I don't know, man. It sucks to be a dad and know that in a lot of people's eyes it means nothing.
What would you like? What's your ideal Father's Day?
I mean, I don't know, man. It's like I would just like to be celebrated, I guess, right? For the wife to make it my day instead of just being a regular day.
Yeah. So what, you like wake up with breakfast?
Just a smile. No, it's just like for Mother's Day, guys are like, oh, I'm going to buy this gift.
Yeah.
Right. And then, oh, we'll go out to breakfast somewhere. Right. And then after that, we'll go shopping because I know she likes shopping. Right. What's Father's Day? It's like, maybe I'll get him a gift and we'll do a barbecue at the house.
Yeah. That he's going to grill.
That he's cooking everything. You know what I mean? It's like, how is that a celebration of me?
Yeah. No, dead ass. That's funny as shit.
And that's the thing. Like, I would wish more planning went into it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to get him this, then we're going to do this, and then I know he likes doing that, so we'll do that. But that's not what it is.
If I'm able to have kids, I expect that my Father's Days will be awesome because she's such a great fucking like gift giver and party planner. But the thought that Father's Day doesn't mean shit to so many people, it's like it's worrisome.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I think that unfortunately not many people have great like role models as far as men are concerned, father figures, whatever. So they take that attitude into their relationships. And it's like, we didn't really do shit for my dad when I was growing up, so I guess he'll be all right if we don't do anything.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like how the way things are, right?
Yeah.
Instead of like breaking the fucking cycle. Like, yeah, my dad was a piece of shit, so I got a great dad that as a husband or whatever. Let me make sure I give him everything.
Yeah.
Make this exciting for him. I don't see that happening.
No. I have this story of this woman that I worked with. It was Mother's Day. She was working, and obviously she was complaining. And her daughter came in and gave her flowers and a balloon and everything, like Happy Mother's Day.
That's cute.
She was, the daughter leaves. The mom was mad. Like the lady I was working with, she goes, this bitch knows that I have to take the bus. Now I have to walk around with these balloons and these flowers. I don't want to deal with this. And I was telling her, I was like, yo, Be fucking happy that they brought you some shit.
Oh my God.
Be happy that your daughter showed up and brought you balloons and flowers and acknowledged that you're a good mom or she's happy to have you as a mom. You're mad about it? What is it? Like, how does that make fucking sense? I would love for somebody to show up in my job and be like if I was older, for Eli or Elliot to come over and celebrate me for being a good dad. That would bring fucking joy to me. And I wouldn't be like, ugh, what the fuck are you doing?
Simple solution. Babe, thank you so much for the flowers and balloons. I gotta catch the bus today. Can you maybe take this home? And I'll appreciate it more when I get home because this is a lot to carry.
It's
instead of thank you
so much, and then
fucking
they leave.
Bitch.
Like, what the fuck?
Are you joking?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was really trying to like hone in on her and be like, why are you? What the fuck is this?
What's the matter with you, lady?
Like, be happy with what the fuck you get because some people don't even get this.
Candles.
So that's probably what
fucking brain is melted.
And also, I don't want to sit here and act like my life is miserable. I have a great wife. And I think a lot of guys do. This is the idea that, the shit that we do is never good enough or it needs to be. I don't know. It sucks.
I mean, you're not alone.
Yeah.
Like everybody, I'm sure, has their thing where they wish. Like, first of all, nobody's perfect. So it's like, you can always find fault with something.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. Women have a very toxic view on what men are like or what men are supposed to be like. Mm-hmm. So Father's Day just is a clusterfuck. Like, I can't wait to see how many posts I see about I'm a great dad. Selena B. Jones.
That's another thing that you don't see is fathers, like single dads being like, Happy Mother's Day to me. Because what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck
but
are you
these
about?
moms are going to be like, Happy Father's Day to me. Like, I'm out here. I'm like, you're not, what?
You are not a fucking dad. I don't give a fuck how many toilets you fix or how many light bulbs you change. Nothing will ever make you a dad. Like, I know we're in a place where we're redefining gender roles and, social norms. But even when you have two moms, there are two moms.
Yeah.
Like, or it's your mom and I don't know what you would identify the other one as. It's not a dad.
No.
It's a very specific thing that we know dads are.
Yeah.
And there are people like you and I, George. People who fight for this fucking country every day.
God better believe it.
God-fearing Christians.
Mm-hmm. USA.
I want to show you this fucking video that I found. And you're going to fucking crack up because it's exactly what we're talking about right now.
While you're looking for that, I remember another thing when I was working Mother's Day. This dad comes in with, it was like two babies, like two, they must have been a year old each. So I'm assuming they were twins. Then there was his two daughters that was with him, right? And I remember like he's shopping, he's trying to entertain the daughters and he's taking care of the kids and the strollers and shit. And one of the women was like, oh, giving mama a break for Mother's Day, huh? And then he's like, yeah, she went out with her friends. I'm just hanging out with the kids. And then they go, oh, it's probably much deserved for mom, right? And the guy's like, oh, yeah, it's fine.
Oh,
and then
God.
He leaves. What do I hear? This is probably his first time taking the kids. I was like, you don't fucking know that.
What the fuck is wrong with people, bro?
He probably doesn't do that often. Who the fuck are you to make that assumption? It's like the thing. I really wish I was like more of an asshole sometimes. Because I remember one day...
more of an asshole?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jesus, George.
I remember one time I went to the grocery store. I think it was me. Yeah, it was me and Eli. I had just picked him up from daycare. And I was grabbing something from the grocery store. And this woman was like, oh, you're babysitting duty, huh? Like babysitting duty.
You should have dragged the shit out of her.
I was like, no, this is my son. She goes, yeah. I was like, I wanted to be like come up with like a crazy story. They're like, no, since his mother passed, it's really just been me and him, and just to make her really feel like shit. But I hate that. If a dad is ever with his kids, he's babysitting them. It's not that he's being a dad. He's babysitting them.
Because the job is the mother's, and you're incapable.
And guys don't say that to other guys. No. Guys don't see another guy with their kids and be like, oh, babysitting today, huh? No.
I was like, oh,
that thought process only comes from women.
100%.
Like, be better, women. I think we live in a world where everybody expects everybody else to be better, right? Like, do better. Do better.
No, I think we expect men to be better.
Yeah, that's true.
Better.
That's why Lizzo's not losing weight.
I don't think that has anything to do.
I think it does, because let's go to the
side. Oh, because you can show up however you want, and
as
it's
a woman.
Good enough.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, she's gorgeous the way she is.
Yeah, that's
fuck
a great
all the
point,
negativity.
Actually.
And guys don't live in that world.
Yeah,
like, you have to be better. You have to improve yourself regularly. Women get to be who they are.
Like, I don't want us to go too far down the rabbit hole with this, but that's actually a great point. And it makes me think about how women perceive certain men when they're getting hit on. So if you're a Lizzo-sized dude, right, and let's take money out of the equation, because money makes everybody pretty much a catch. You're a Lizzo-sized dude, and you're hitting on a girl. You're probably a creep. You're overweight.
Discord mod over it.
Yeah, exactly. So if it's Lizzo hitting on you, and you treat her the way that a woman would treat you, they're going to give you so much shit.
Yeah, 100%.
What? You're fat shaming? You're this? They don't use the term fat shaming with men.
No.
It does not exist.
If you're fat as a fat guy, either lose weight or get real funny, because
or become a filthy fucking rich.
Like, there's nothing that you'll be able to do.
Nothing.
Like, you're always gonna be the fat guy.
Yeah.
But fat women don't exist. Just strong women.
Yeah.
This episode is toxic.
You're brave. You're so brave.
Welcome to the bad cave.
Yeah. So I was trying to find the original. I can't seem to find it, but Abba and Preach have it on their channel. I want you to watch just this clip of, you can press play, of a Father's Day commercial.
It's a sentiment that I see every Father's Day.
My father passed away when I was 3. There was 4 of us kids within 5 years. So my mom had to raise 4 kids by herself.
My mom was a single mother.
So she raised both of us completely by herself, which is...
I already know where this is going.
I'm sorry.
I don't know how she raised 3 boys on her own with such grace.
I've definitely seen her try to juggle both mom, dad, and everything else that she had to be for herself.
She did all of it, and she did it all as though she was 2 people.
But she was tough, huh? She was not a joke.
Say our car broke down. Oh, well, that's the alternator.
She was like, when you punch, she's like, you put your knuckle out and you just go for it. I mean, I don't even know if that's a...
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Mama.
Happy Father's Day, Mom.
Oh, Mom. Happy Father's Day.
Jesus, brother.
You break all your fucking fingers.
Bro, that's insane, man.
And so they finished the video with Happy Father's Day, Mom. That's and guess who commercial? Guess who the fucking made this commercial? Just take a guess.
I don't know.
Like, okay, name a product that you think it'd be in relation to.
Condoms.
That's actually not a bad guess. Toilet paper. It was Angel Soft.
I mean, it makes sense because they were spewing some shit.
Oh. Bro.
That's so fucking
Happy Father's Day, mom.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me, bro?
Like I'm telling you, there's a weird thing of men not being acknowledged for being dads, and it's like, bro, because your dad passed, you're basically shitting on him because he died.
Right.
You're not respecting him to be your dad anymore. Oh, he died. That's not my dad. My mom's my dad now because my bitch ass dad died. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if it's Father's Day,
crazy.
celebrate your fucking dad.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Dad.
Yeah, go visit him in the cemetery and acknowledge how you didn't get the chance to be with him as much as you want. Not like my mom did everything that my dad could have better than he did because he wanted to die. Like, what the fuck? Bro, it's so fucking upsetting to think that if I fucking died tragically, that my memory will be faded away to nothing.
It's not gonna be faded away. Somebody's gonna steal it from you. Somebody's gonna steal your memory from your kid.
Like, dog, that is fucking sad.
Yeah.
It's a fucking sad world we're living in, man. It's crazy. I don't know what happened that it got to this point. There's like, no, men really ain't shit. Happy Father's Day, Mom.
Happy Father's Day, Mom. If I can be honest, I think it all comes back to money, bro. I really do. Like, I think because women are able to go out and get jobs that pay just as well as men's jobs, and men have yet to figure out like how to reposition themselves in the world, like, because we're still showing up as like how we were 100 years ago, like provider, protector, financier, blah blah blah. Like, we're still showing up as that, whereas women have redefined their roles now. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They can be whatever the fuck they want. So now they take away the financier aspect of it, and it's like we've lost our leverage almost. So it's like, they don't need us for anything. Now they can say how they really feel. You know what I'm saying? Whereas before, if your husband was making all the money, or you were at home with 6 kids and he, you needed him, you weren't going to shit on him.
Yeah.
Because if he walked out, you're fucked. Now it's like, I make more money than you. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day to me. Because I just fixed the fucking toilet that I have been asking you for fix for 6 months. Like,
so how do we get around that? Do we end up just being stay-at-home dads is now the fix to that? Because I remember telling you, the only time that I see men celebrated on the internet is when they're a stay-at-home father. When they pull the stunt that these women do, and they record themselves waking up at 5 a.m., right? Getting the kids' lunch ready, getting the wife's lunch ready, right? Getting the kids ready for school, and then whatever. And then women are like, good, this is what we want to see, more of this. And then that guy is celebrated. Yeah.
I think I think that I was about to lie. I don't think there is a workaround. I think this is just the way it's going to be from now on, because the stay-at-home dad shit doesn't make sense. Like, especially in America, when a woman gets pregnant, you've got max 4 months for maternity leave, and then you go back to work. What the fuck is the stay-at-home dad supposed to do when she's incapable of working? Be there with her, up under her? Yeah. She's gonna be livid. She's like, why the fuck are you here? You should be providing and financing and all of the fucking things that we tell you don't have to do anymore because we're capable. She's gonna use that same fucking leverage against you. I think this is just the way shit's gonna be now.
So as a dad or as a man, if you're working too much, then you're not helping enough in the house.
Exactly.
And if you're a stay-at-home dad and you're doing everything in the house, you should be at work.
You should be at work.
It's
a lose-lose. But it makes sense, right? It's because they're like, oh, we just want balance. Okay, you want balance. Like, guy comes home, does the chores, whatever. You get used to it. And then when things are out of place, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you didn't do the dishes today? Like, oh, I'm sorry, I was tired from work. Like, now you open up a whole new fucking chapter of complaints where it's like oh, you're inconsistent, or you're this, you're that. Like, there will never be just I'm happy and this is where we are, this is how things are. It'll never be that. Yeah. It's a constant adjustment and getting used to new shit. So, like, I think guys, you just gotta pick which side of the fucking fence you want to be on. You're gonna be the dad who works all the time, or you're gonna be the dad who just gets bitched at because you're not doing everything around the house.
Yeah. Yeah, like I told you, like me and Alina's, like, we had an argument because, like, I want more from my family. Like, I work. I have my day job, 40 hours a week, maybe more depending on what I need to do. But as a person who's responsible for her life and my 2 kids and wants to be an example for those children, right? I don't want to be like, oh yeah, just get a 9 to 5 and that's it. Like, you can be more than that. If you want to work in this career, if you want to pursue that dream, you can do that thing. And if I don't attempt to follow a dream or chase, put the work in to get somewhere, how are my children supposed to think the same?
Yeah.
Right?
They gotta have the example.
They have to have the example.
Yeah.
I can't just tell them that this is what they can do. Oh, anything is possible if you put the hard work in. Oh, Dad, why didn't you put the hard work in? Right? Because, I couldn't do it. Right?
And it's a valid question.
And exactly. So, like, me and Alina's had an argument because, like I said, I have the job, then I have this podcast. I have other things that I want to try.
Yeah.
That are going to require me to not be at home, that are going to require me to spend time doing other things, perfecting other things. And she's like, you're going to be stretching yourself out way too thin, like too much. And I was like, that's what the fuck I'm going to have to do. Like, I'm going to have to consolidate my time here, share my time there, and still figure out how to be home, still figure out how to be with her and with the kids and help out and do everything. And she was getting upset because it was like, oh, you're not going to be home. I'm like, I am going to be home, not as much as I think you want me to be. Right. Because the things that I want to do, can't do here. Right. I have to be out. I have to do shit. And it's like, now in her head, right, it's like, oh, he's not home, he's not helping, he's not doing this. Then I'm not a good dad, or I'm not a good husband. Like, I asked her, I was like, is that what the fuck you're thinking? That I'm not good at these things because I'm choosing to try to chase a dream, or I'm choosing to try to change my career? Like, if it was vice versa, and, it doesn't happen, but if I was content, right? All right, what we have is what we have. This is what it's going to be for the rest of our lives. Yeah. Right? And she was like, well, no, I want more. And she wants to chase it. I will be more than happy to be like, you do your fucking thing. And I've asked her before, yo, you know that I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And is there anything that you want to work on that I can help you do? Or maybe you want to do something. I'll take the kids while you try to focus on that. Yeah. Like, I've told her this. Because I'm acknowledging what she does for me so that I can chase those dreams. Like, yeah, if I'm out recording this episode, or I have to go edit this episode, once I start pursuing the other things that I want to do, of course she's going to be with the kids. Yeah. Right? And I know that. And because of that, that's why I was like, dude, let me make sure that I'm not stopping her from doing something. Right. So if you want to go do something, if you want to go work on something, tell me. Because I'm going to figure out how to take care of the kids and handle that. And, I'll take the kids while you go work what you need to work on. Because it's not one-sided with me. I'm not going to sit here and think, oh, this is what she has to do. No, This is what she's doing for me. Right. She's allowing me to go chase these dreams. And I wanted to kind of give that back to her. Now, she doesn't really have anything that she wants to work on from what she told me. So what am I supposed to do now? I've offered you an opportunity, and I do, like, she goes out sometimes to go shopping, and I'm like, oh, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But like, it's like, what more can I do in that situation?
I guess they'll make the argument that, like, just because she's at home doesn't mean you should pile stuff on top of her. You know, like essentially, like what you're doing is you're making something that's harder. And at the same time, you made a great fucking point. Like, if you're a stay-at-home mom, you get to be with the people you're supposed to love all day. Like, you know, granted, kids can be a fucking pain in the ass for sure, and it can be a lot. What's the alternative? You get to go be with people that you fucking can't stand.
Yeah.
That drive you fucking crazy from 9 to 5.
Yeah. And I think that's like I said, it's because of the absence that's required from men that absence, I think, becomes, it puts a weird thing in their heads, right? Because I told you this with Eli, and I know it's going to happen the same thing with Elliot. It's like, I wasn't there for like his first steps, right? I wasn't there when he rolled over the first time. I wasn't there when he started moving and doing things because I was at work, right? Like, I think the idea for Father's Day is not so much the things that they do at home, but the sacrifice that they give because they can't be home. Like, it's not like, oh, thank you for, like, moms are thanked for, you know, maintaining the house, right? Feeding the family or cooking.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we're celebrating. Men need to be celebrated because they can't do that because we're busy doing all the other shit.
Like, I'm sure there's men who, when they're at work, they're like, fuck, man, I would just like to be home with my wife and kids.
There are days where, like, Alina's and the kids go out with, like, her parents to go somewhere. And I'm at work, like, I would give anything to be there with them. I would give anything to see my kid playing around and me be able to play with him.
Yeah.
It happens so many times. Like, they go to the pool in the summer, right? They go to a pool. And I get pictures or whatever of, like, Eli playing or whatever. And it's just like,
that shit would break my heart.
It fucking sucks.
Yeah, that shit would break my
heart. And that's so much that we have to deal with that we know we can't be there. We can't see them be happy all the time. We can't see them experience things a lot of the time because we have to be out of the house. We have to be home or we have to be working. Yeah. And the celebration of Father's Day needs to be an acknowledgement of that. Thank you for sacrificing these experiences so that she can have them.
Yeah.
Like, she got to see all of that. She gets to enjoy them, right? More than I get to.
And like the underlying, or I guess the unseen result of that is she'll be closer to the kids forever.
Yeah, always.
And in some ways, a lot of kids end up resenting their father because he was never around.
He was never home, yeah. That's why it's so, like, it sucks so much to try to do things now.
Yeah.
Because I know what I'm sacrificing. But like I said, it's like I'm sacrificing the time in the hopes that I can succeed at something to be able to provide more for my kids.
Right.
That I can be an example for my kids. Right. And it's like, so a lot of the hard work that I do as well is when I am home to continue try to build the relationships with them. Like, I play with my son all the time. I'm always joking with him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think I give him more every night, other than a couple nights. I give him the baths. I change him, right? Because I want him to know that I'm there when I can be. And it's going to be the same thing for Elliot. Elliot's 4 months old, so he's, you know, a lot younger.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the same thing. Like, when I am there, I try to be 110% because I know that I can't be there all the time. So I try to be extra with a lot of shit to fill in the blanks that are there because I have to be out. I have to do shit.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean when I say over and over in this episode that it fucking sucks that Father's Day is not acknowledged the way that it should be. Because it's like we sacrifice so much to be able to provide, to be able to have, so that the kids can get new clothes, right? So that the house is paid, so that they can drive the car that they drive. And it's like, yeah, well, Father's Day is just another fucking Sunday because you didn't do shit in the house. Like, no, I didn't do shit in the house, but The house has shit that needs to be done because I'm working, because we have the fucking house.
Do you think men have power in relationships?
I think they like to think they do.
I asked that because, like, all right, if there was Mother's Day and you didn't do shit, you already know you're gonna suffer the consequences. For a woman, what's the consequences of not doing it?
There's nothing. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Yell at her? You know what I mean? Like,
there's nothing you can do.
No.
The court isn't in your favor.
What am I supposed to then have a conversation and make her feel guilty? Like, what is that? That's like manipulation. That's then like what, emotional toxicity? Like, I can't do that. You know what I mean?
Nothing you can do.
I can't not be like, well, next year I'm not giving you anything for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Like, no, there's absolutely nothing that we can do if we don't get celebrated, if we don't get acknowledged. There's nothing.
And you can't even leave because then you won't get your fucking kids. You'll be on child support. It's like, I'm leaving you, but I'm going to pay you child support.
Yeah.
And
not get the kids.
You get to keep the kids. You're going to cut off your own dick.
Yeah.
Thinking that you're taking a stand.
Yeah.
It's ass backwards.
You know, it's like, and no way, shape, or form am I like shitting on my wife. Like, she does so much, and I always like thank her.
Oh, I didn't think that at all.
I always ask her pretty regularly, like, oh, am I doing a good job as a dad? Like, do you think I'm a good dad? And I ask her, like, oh, am I a good husband? And the reason that I ask these questions is because I never get any fucking feedback, celebration for the things that I do.
Yeah.
So if I'm not being celebrated for it, then I have to be doing something wrong, right?
No.
No.
She's just used to it.
It's just, oh, this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't say anything because what the fuck should I be saying? Good job doing what you need to be doing?
Yeah. Maybe we should just go on strike. Dad strike.
I remember seeing this video where, I forget what it was. The guy, it was a man that did a bunch of stuff for his wife, right? And the comments was riddled with women being like, I'm sorry, did he record this video so we can celebrate him doing what he needs to be doing?
What he's supposed to be doing?
Yeah. I was like, God damn, dude.
Yo.
Like, are we supposed to be celebrating him in this video? And I'm like, yeah, I can't make him happy.
Oh,
brother.
my God. Bro, I would love to know, like, what the fuck are we supposed to do in terms of getting recognition? Like, because if you say something, oh, it's you want a cookie for doing what you're supposed to do, and if you don't say anything, shit just remains the same.
Yeah.
So where's the middle ground? Is it like, oh, I'm just gonna go cheat? Because then you're gonna fuck your own life up. Like, what are you supposed to do?
I don't think there's anything that
how would you fix your situation?
I don't think there is fixing the situation. It's just moving forward and continuing to do what I can do. Yeah. You know, I don't think I do a bad job.
I don't think so.
I feel like confident that I'm a good dad and a good husband. Like, I'm there every single day. I come home every single day. I love my wife. There's so much that I know that I do right.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that could ever happen is like hopefully conversations like this where you cut out the toxic parts, because we have had some crazy parts this episode. But it create a sense of awareness for the ladies. You know what I mean?
What advice would you give women for this Father's Day coming up?
I think take an opportunity to thank your husband. Like, acknowledge the shit that they deal with outside of the house. I know that you fucking hate your job, and I know that this shit has been annoying, and I know that you've been trying to get this promotion and it hasn't been working, and I know that you feel like you're not doing enough for the family, but let them know that it is enough. Let them know that they're seen. Let them know that their kids fucking love them and that they're doing a good job as a dad. I don't think men hear that. That's why I ask my wife, because I don't fucking hear that.
Yeah.
Shout out to my mom-in-law because she reminds my wife regularly. Like sometimes I overhear where she's like, yo, George is a good dad. He's a good husband. He does the things that he's supposed to do. And it's like she has to remind my wife that. And it's like, you shouldn't really be reminded. No one has to remind me of the shit that my wife does. I see it, I'm aware, and I acknowledge it, and I thank her all the time. So that's what has to happen.
Yeah.
Is women moms need to thank the father for the shit that they deal with that you don't see. And you don't see it. So just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not fucking happening.
100%.
Like we don't, it's not even that we need the gifts or we need to go out. It's just fucking talk to us and be like, yo, thank you. You're doing a really good job. You know, the kids I think our kids are going to grow up to be good. If you have boys, you know, I think they're going to grow up to be good men because of you. Like that would mean the fucking world if my wife told me that. Oh, I think that our boys are going to be good, like great men because of who you are as an example to them. That would mean everything to me. And I think it would mean a lot to a lot of guys.
Yeah. Well, you are doing a good job. And if nobody's told you, I love you. And I hope that you
feeling
continue
uncomfortable
to do the things that you've been doing. No, I'm just going to lean all the way into it.
All right.
You know, because this shit is actually kind of scary, man. And not to try and like end the episode on like a negative thing, because I think what you just said was pretty fucking powerful. After having this conversation, the solution that I've come up with is men have to take a stand. Like enough is enough. Enough like biting our tongue. Enough putting up with shit from the fucking law and from just this fucked up ass societal structure. Like, we have to take a stand as a whole. Like, if we're not celebrating on Father's Day, there will be consequences. You can pay the fucking bills this month. You can take out the fucking trash. You can fucking carry the groceries or the dishes, whatever. Like, if you are not being appreciated, you have to make your presence felt. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes the best way to do that is to just stop carrying the whole couch. You know what I mean? Like, you know how Bill Burr says, pick up your end. Sometimes you just got to stop carrying the whole couch and let motherfuckers see how heavy it is. And if it's a situation where nothing changes, then that should be a wake-up call for you, because maybe you aren't doing enough. Yeah. And you only got one way to find out. You can't be scared to fucking find out.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Yeah. So this was like...
So shout out. Yeah. Happy Father's Day to all the fucking dads out there, man. And don't let these women eclipse overshadow the shit that you do.
And don't fucking be out here talking about some Happy Father's Day mom.
That is some fucking
toxic
wild bullshit, bro. I mean, like I said, it would be a fucking toilet paper company to make that commercial.
You're full of shit.
Yeah. That's insane, man. No, shout out to the dads that do what they need to do. Shout out to the fathers that are present, work hard, improve themselves to be good examples to their kids, have the patience that is required, not only for the kids, but to deal with to the wife. Like, shout out to you. Keep doing what you're doing. If you're not hearing it, just listen to this, because you're not alone. You're doing your shit. We're all out here doing our shit. Right. And we do it in silence. And maybe that's our fault that we don't fucking voice the shit that we do on a regular basis. But that's just not how we were raised to be. That's just not how we are. We do our shit and we do it quietly. And because we do it quietly, people don't see it. They don't hear it. They forget about it. Right. You're doing your thing, man. Just fucking know that. And shout out to the moms who actually do appreciate their dads. Not their dads. Yes, their dads and their kids' dads. You know what the fuck I'm saying. Yeah. Well, like, I hate this internet shit. I gotta over-explain. Anyway, I was gonna say this is fun, but it wasn't. This conversation, I mean, I knew it was gonna be exactly what it was. because you're comparing. Yeah, it's the classic. The situation that's going on with so many things. It's the reason Andrew Tate is so popular. There's a reason Kevin Samuels was so popular.
Yeah,
it's because there's a fucking, women versus men situation that's going on.
Yeah.
And granted, I think a lot of that is single men versus single women. I don't think it's guys in a relationship or women in a relationship. But it does kind of spill into those things.
Yeah.
So once we have the conversation of Mother's Day versus Father's Day, for people, I think they think it's me versus them. Like, no, it's just wanting to be accepted the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I knew this conversation was going to be the way that it was. Yeah, I mean, me and you are assholes. So there's going to be toxic shit.
Don't lump me in with you.
You're an asshole. So, yeah, I think a lot of the shit that we went over is just real shit, though.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'm not going to apologize for it.
Yeah.
If you were upset, then you were upset because we said some shit that you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, if you wasn't mad, then this shit didn't fucking mean anything to you.
Like your grandma from the South say, a hurt dog hollers. Or hit dog hollers, whatever the fuck you want. However, I don't know. Give me some cornbread. We out of this motherfucker. I'm exhausted.